Where red bar underneath. Me? Oh, yeah. That's energy depleted, and I'm muted in there. Oh, perfect. Look at that. I'm on the screen. I probably can be heard now. Uh, that is gonna be something where I'm gonna have to mute my ears here in a second. Let me see if we can turn off the audio so we don't get the feedback. Eh, well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, Cheese. If you're gonna go to the stream viewer, I'm gonna try to make sure I'm not overlapping myself here in audio because it looks like I'm having a hard time blocking that out. The audio, anyways. No, I didn't. Again, there. I think I just about got it. All right. Welcome to the Cafe Nutty Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. Today is the 5th of December, 2023. We'll make this happen again. Simulcasting here in the Plaza in Upland Discord here, so we can try to make that work. So we can continue to have the Cafe Nightly Show here in Discord for now, as the Plaza continues to be a work in progress. Continuing to see what's going on as far as where the break even point is, where things work for enough people that it works for people to be in the cafe for shows, and or the plaza for shows, I should say, and otherwise just kicking off things here. This Tuesday, on Tuesdays we'll continue to try to do a plaza show. Was going to try to do a plaza Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. PT, but just still seeing on the iteration here how things work, how we can make audio work, and if we can make it something that's going to work well for everybody in attendance. But for today, we did have a few things going on. Obviously, tomorrow is a big day in the game of Upland. We have the city of Miami launching. With the city of Miami, obviously, we do have a 50% launch of Miami. We'll get into some of the details. If you haven't gotten a chance to review them from yesterday, now's the time to do so because it is time to travel as well. So we'll get into travel schedules, getting into the city of Miami, and what to be planning for tomorrow. Couple of details from what did happen today with the new Miami release, with this new city release model that Upland is starting. We are seeing that there's more interaction, there's more activity, and there are more things going on alongside the release, which includes a Block Explorer sale that did go off today. There was additionally a new mechanism of the pass that went through today, pass for reserving a property. We'll get into the specifics of that reserved pass for properties, and we'll see how that sale went today and what people who did purchase the pass can look forward to. Otherwise, a couple announcements of again with just some updates on what will be going on for minting for tomorrow. So getting started here today, let's get the disclaimer out of the way. All views and opinions expressed by myself are mine and mine alone. Should be taken as game strategy or financial advice. They don't represent the game of the team of Upland. Any guests or contributors who we do have on, they get the same courtesy. No financial advice, no game strategy advice comes from their lips. Should be taken as game strategy or financial advice. Anything that they do say, and of course, Doesn't represent Team of Upland, Game of Upland, myself, the Goldsmith, Cafe Nightly Show, any of that. Of course, if you have any questions about the show, we're going to try to keep track of Discord. We're going to try to keep track of what's going on in the Upland Plaza. See how that looks, or see what goes on there. But of course, seeing what's going to happen in multiple places, I'll keep my eyes open, and maybe we get lucky. Maybe Cheese can hear me in the Plaza, because I know that's what she's trying to do. I don't know how audio is working over there, but fingers crossed it does work well. So getting things kicked off here, let's take a look. Let's start by taking a look at the announcement from yesterday. Go over a couple of the dates that we're looking at there. I did have the opportunity to go through things yesterday on the Cafe Nightly Show on Monday. Obviously, some of these details are pertinent for immediate, so we're going to get into some of those details here, how they slide in, or how they line up with what's going on tomorrow. And then, of course, a couple things to keep your eyes on, because they do also dovetail in with the city release. Today, as the update, this is a big update, so keep in mind, if you have been planning your mint strategy for the city of Miami already, you knew that half the properties, approximately 35,000 properties, were going to be released. You knew that it was going to be half of the city that was going to be released. You knew 35 neighborhoods were going to be released. But now we'll get an update here. One of the 35 neighborhoods is not going to actually be able to be mintable for tomorrow. That's due to technical difficulties. That is due to a couple things on the Upland side. So do not expect to, and you will not be in the position to mint Douglas Park for tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to share this announcement here so we can take a look at it. That is one of the 35 that's not available tomorrow, meaning we're down to 34 neighborhoods, meaning we did lose some properties as far as this total mint was concerned. Let me get this other one over here. That's the one. Perfect. As far as that's concerned, so we do lose one of our 35. We end up with 34 neighborhoods in the minting for tomorrow. As an update as of today, also a quick clarification on the terminals and UPX dispersion. This is an important one. I'm glad they made it up front. I know there was already questions on this, and wow, my hair looks crazy. I know there was already questions on this one, so I am glad that Upland put it up front. All UPX proceeds from traveling via Miami terminals, they're actually going to be pooled and split. Going to be evenly split among all the terminal owners, ensuring that the benefit does extend to all UPX earned during the city opening. So even though the city is not going to have terminal owners at mint, even though these terminals are going to essentially be used without having an Upland owner before there is an opportunity to have those terminals minted, we are still going to see those distributions of send fees be sent to the eventual owners of those terminals when that terminal sale takes place this coming Friday. So that's an important note to make. And Upland did further, back that up with, as Upland, or if Upland continues with this type of release, which it sounds like they may, because they are doubling down with if we do this again, we will do this again. So if they do this again, we will see that the same model. The OPEX does end up with the people who end up owning the terminal. It's just that it gets reserved in the meantime. The terminal sale happens, and obviously the OPEX gets dispersed after the fact. Prepare to be captivated by Miami as it bursts into the Upland scene, bringing with it unprecedented array of events in innovative mechanics and diverse participation opportunities. Obviously, things have started as of today. The things that started there was registration from yesterday into today for a Block Explorer sale. Excuse me. There was a registration from yesterday into today for a pass sale. And both those sales did happen earlier today. There was 150 total Block Explorers available. If we go down and take a look at those, it actually turns out being 3 separate Block Explorers, 50 of each. Lagoon Bliss Block Explorer, I was number 175 in line out of 50. It was almost close enough, but not quite there. Vice City Room Block Explorer, 50 of those were available, and 50 were available. The Blush Boulevard Block Explorer. 30,000 OPEX comes along with each of those Block Explorers if you had gotten the chance to purchase them, and it would have cost you $30 USD to purchase any of those bundles. Obviously, this is over. The sales happened, done deal. But if you did get one of those block explorers, obviously something special with this release is going to be a burn mechanism, the first burn mechanism we've ever had in the game of Upwind. We kind of went over it yesterday, and I guess I didn't stop and pause and give it as much notice as it might deserve. The concept of the burn has been something that a lot of people have speculated on, wanted to see for a long time. People are talking about, or have been talking about for a while, how do we make properties and assets more valuable? How do we make them valuable again? Realistically, if the number of players in the game of Upland is not constantly expanding, if we don't have exponential growth of the player base in the game of Upland, we can't have exponential growth of assets in the game of Upland. So one way to potentially make assets more special, potentially hold value in assets, is to have some of those assets maybe disappear or not have as many brought in as quickly. And one way to have assets disappear is to have burn mechanics. Whether or not it makes sense to burn a asset that has been in the game of Upland for 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, and no one ever knew it was possible to burn when that was originally purchased. I don't know. We'll have to see if Upwind ends up doing retroactive burn opportunities on those assets. But it is a mechanism worth noting, and it is something worth noting as a potential. Opening up a burn opportunity or burn mechanism in the game of Upwind likely means that Upwind is going to look at opportunities to use it again. Somebody burning one asset to get another, somebody burning a lot of certain types of assets in order to get something else. And we've already gotten this hint, this little surprise iteration where Upland's been trying to reward people for completing block explorer collections. We could see that same mechanism have more of an effect with these burns. You fill a collection, you burn, you get the special block explorer potentially, where Upwind can put out a ton of assets and less of them stay in the market because the percentage of them get burned, meaning that Upwind is not as significantly increasing the total number of assets on the market, even though they own a lot of assets. It's something we definitely see as a potential, something we definitely look forward to as an opportunity to, again, keep the economy of Upland healthy. If this burn can be something that limits the growth and the sprawl of assets over time, maybe that's something Upland adapts here in the not so distant future. So we'll keep our eyes on it, make sure everything runs well and does work well here. And again, the second part of that burn mechanism, because we still have to have a sale before we can have the burn, is on the 13th of the month. There is going to be a snapshot essentially at 9 a.m. PT. That snapshot is essentially for those who do have Block Explorer shops to be part of an exclusive Block Explorer shop owner sale. In that sale, there's going to be 300 bundles made available. Each bundle has 3 BEs. Those bundles are going to be saleable for $8.99. So you can purchase them $8.99 from Upland. And once the Block Explorer shops own them, they're going to put them in the shop. They're going to go and try to sell these Block Explorers. And the reason why people are looking at buying those Block Explorers is because these are the additional pieces, these are the components needed to go through that burn, participate in the burn. The Miami Block Explorer burn is going to be a mechanism that's just burning three Block Explorers. You're going to have your seed Block Explorer, and the seed is going to be either Lagoon Bliss Block Explorer, the Vice City Vroom Block Explorer, or the Blush Boulevard Block Explorer. And then your fodder, which we're going to have a couple fodder, burn a couple fodder as well, is going to be one of these 7 Block Explorers, which are going to be exclusively available to Block Explorer owners in USD. They're going to resell them, and it's going to be a rush to buy them before the snapshot period, before the burn period ends. So the 15th of December is when that sale starts at 9 a.m. PT for Block Explorer shop owners to buy these Block Explorers. We see that the burn on these are actually going to start on the 15th, on Friday at 9 a.m. PT. Last opportunity to burn is going to be December 22nd, 9 a.m. PT. And if we take a look here at the image, we can see that the Miami sweetener, that's what they call it in Miami sweeteners. I call it a seed because in other types of burn mechanisms, that's what they called the Miami sweetener. So one of these 3 block explorers that are one of 50, you burn it with 2 of the shop owner sales, you end up with a specific block explorer on the other side here. You can see that right there. Again, the key thing here is this is going to be something that is going to be people are having the opportunity to buy block explorers in OPEX, but only after they filter through the block explorer shops. USD sale is happening direct to Upland, so Upland's making USD, and what people set the pricing to for those block explorers, for these nice block explorers for the Miami shop block explorer sale, that's going to be up to block explorer shops. So we'll have to see how that ends up evolving. Obviously, Upland talks about letting the free market be the free market. They put an initial price on those, but they're not telling people, where that price is during that sale period. And we'll just have to see how that economy develops. We'll have to see if people are going to be rushing for those, if people are going to be rushing to sell those, if they buy those, if people are going to buy those to try to flip those. And again, how quickly Block Explorer shops do buy these through. There's enough Block Explorer shops now that of the 300 bundle, it is possible that some Block Explorer shops may not get one. So we'll have to see how that happens. There's a lot of Block Explorer shops in the game now. This is a type of sale that people have asked for quite a while in Block Explorer shop land, which is give me the opportunity to be the first purchase. The Block Explorer shop being the first purchase. Don't make those Block Explorers open to the public, and if they want to buy them, make them buy them through us, the Block Explorer shop owners. And that's exactly what's happening here. We already saw a similar sale happening with the car the resale shops, the car lot owners, and we're seeing this in Block Explorer shops now. With the Miami Pass, again, this was a new dynamic. The sale did go through today. This is a opportunity to reserve yourself a property, random. You don't know where it is in Miami, but if you can't make it for the minting, the city sells out before you have a chance to go and try to mint. You could still guarantee yourself at least one property. You still have to pay mint price, but you guarantee yourself that one reserve property. The way it's working is that sale did happen today. There was 1,000 passes available, $4.99. Again, you did have to pay the USD equivalent, or the USD, $4.99. There was no bonus in UPEX. You just bought this pass, and the sale again happened at 9 a.m. PT today. They did sell out. Snapshot is going to happen on the 14th at 9 a.m. PT, and that snapshot is whoever's holding the pass on the 14th 9 a.m. PT. That's who's going to get the reserve property for them. They're going to get an email from Upland that tells them this property is reserved for them. They're going to have the opportunity to go and mint that property. And then obviously that property is only available for them for about 4 days, from the 14th to the 18th. If they choose not to mint it during that 4-day period, that opens up to the public and Upland to go and mint those properties. What we could see on these is a couple things. Number one, what's interesting about this is a USD exclusive purchase. It is something that doesn't come with a requisite requisite UPEX. What's the difference here? Why is it being sold direct in USD only, and there's no UPEX option? One interesting thing is this is not a burnable pass. This is more of a validation pass, a gate pass. This is not something that gets burnt when you do go and get the snapshot. The snapshot is just that. It's a snapshot of who the owners are at a specific time, and then this NFT remains in the ecosystem. Upland saying that it's a keepsake, and it is. I guess people can still speculate, hold it to have value. It technically is the iteration of this type of pass sale when it relates to properties. This is the first time that we're doing something quite like this. We had it with Block Explorers, which we've already had the idea of gating. We've already seen how that's worked. This is obviously just a different way of extending that same mechanism, but again, doing it with essentially a pass, which is just a legit. It ends up being just another form of legit here. What we are going to see again with this sale is hold on to your pass until the 14th at 9 a.m. PT. Sell it if you want. If you got one of those passes, you don't want it, and somebody else wants that opportunity, they may look on the secondary market to buy these. Key thing is We don't know how the city of Miami is going to mint out. We don't know what the mint prices are. We don't know where collections are going to hit. By the time the snapshot takes place, we will know all those things. We'll know what the mint prices are in Miami. We'll know what areas sell out quickly, and then we'll even know where the collections are and what hits collections, because the collection reveal will be 1 week out. Sales happening tomorrow 9 a.m. PT. Keep your eyes out in Discord a few minutes ahead in case things get slowed down or Upland sees any issues for why not to start exactly on time. But 9 a.m. PT tomorrow on the 6th of December should be the time when things get kicked off. And then the reveal exactly a week later, the 13th at 9 a.m. PT. And then since that snapshot is taking place the 14th, we'll see how the market follows. But the market's likely going to follow. The pricing on these is likely going to follow if it sells out, where collections end up hitting, what properties, and we will know this to some degree, what properties, if we get a sellout, seem to be reserved for these 1,000 property sale. These are Uplands using the term unique. I don't know if that means they're special properties or they're just saying they're unique properties, just like every property in the game of Upland is unique. Don't know that. We'll have to see. But I do hold one of these passes. Again, at this point, it's just a novel thing. It's an interesting thing to see happen. It's kind of a little bit of a lottery ticket, as there's a 1 in 15 chance that any of the passes is a collection. That's because 15% of the properties that are reserved for this pass sale are going to be collection properties. So I'm kind of playing that as a little bit of a lottery ticket. It's also interesting to see the first version of this happen in the game of Upland. These gated passes for reserve properties at the time of a city release. And Upland says, and whether or not it helps a lot of people who are in this position or not, we'll see. But Upland says this is an opportunity for the people who would otherwise not be able to mint properties at time of mint, and they just want a property in Miami. It's going to be random. You're not going to know where it is necessarily, but they want to guarantee themselves at least one property in Miami, regardless of what it is, and that's what this is. That's that opportunity. We'll see how it works out. I will probably be minting my property regardless of what it is, unless it's a 500,000 UPX mint. But regardless of what it is, I'll probably be minting mine. We'll just have to see what everyone else who holds a pass ends up doing with theirs. Keep in mind, I'll see plenty on the secondary market. We'll see people who are going to try to flip these, and rightfully so. And people don't know what's happening in the city of Miami until tomorrow, at least the start, and until the 13th, and then we'll have a better idea. And then people can still buy these, depending on if they feel like they got enough properties in Miami, if they sell out quickly, whatever ends up happening, that will change how people handle these passes. A quick thing that is important to know: there is the opportunity here between now and the 22nd at noon PT. Again, the 22nd of December, noon PT, to mint properties in Miami. Again, once they mint out, they mint out. But 2 mint properties in Miami, and have each one of your mints in Miami count as a raffle ticket towards the special edition Miami cars. Again, these are special edition cars that have a special paint scheme. There are 3 different designs. One of them is a Series 1, one of them is a Series T, and one of them is a Series 4. What tends to happen with these special editions is they tend to have better stats than most cars. They tend to be more similar to our version of those cars, sometimes even better than the R version of those cars. And the other thing that's interesting about these limited editions, again, is they tend to have this very special paint scheme, sometimes special accessories. If we look at the truck, we see on the truck, obviously, there is the spotlights here up on the top. There is some special tie downs in the back, special bracing in the back. Whether that's part of a roll cage, I can't tell you, but I can tell you there's special bars in the back. And we do see a spoiler here on the Series 1 Miami edition. And it looks like we might have a little bit special body kit here on the Series 4 as well. So definitely opportunity here to get some very exclusive cars. It is going to be a random drawing. More properties you mint, the more entries you have. And if you want to get some more drawings, don't forget about Mint Master. This is the second city where we've had the Mint Master badges. This is the first time that we've really had knowledge of what Mint Master badge was, going into a city release. And here it is, the Mint Masters. Again, this happened after the last expansion of London. And there's a few different Mint Master options here. Each of them could earn you, if you do win one of these badges, 25 entries into that car raffle or that car drawing. So keep that in mind. But let's take a look at these again. These are something that you could be going for tomorrow at 9 a.m. PT. Pioneer owned one of the first 3 properties that are minted. You earn the Pioneer badge again. This is a crapshoot. This is a race. This is a question of how fast your internet is versus everyone else's, because everyone's trying to mint properties immediately. They think that they're in the right area. They're going to click and buy the first property they can get. They may have set their drift, so they're going to try to buy the first property that they see available to them because they put themselves in that area for a reason. Top minter, the person who mints the highest number of properties during I believe it is the 3-hour period, but the person who are the top 3 people who mint the most properties, they get the top minter badge. The big fish badge, the person who does mint the largest property by UP2 in the city, top 3 do get a big fish badge. And of course, there is a last one, and it wouldn't be complete, this contest or this series of badges, if you didn't do both the top and the bottom. And the bottom here is the smallest properties. The 3 people who mint the 3 smallest properties are granted the cozy badge. Again, key things here is these badges have a purpose. At least in this contest, they can get you 25 entries, which is the same as minting 25 properties. So that's huge. And the other thing is, obviously, badges are still relatively limited. They're fun to get. In this case, there is a total of 12 badges that go out per city release. That's pretty cool. So per city minting cycle, there's 12 total badges available. It is going to be something, a little bit of a badge of honor, if you were. And a lot of people enjoy them. You know, it is something that differentiates your activity or tells a story about your activity in the game of Upland moving forward, no matter what the future of Upland ends up being. So good luck to everybody in the minting tomorrow. I think that there's going to be some people who definitely put in or might put in a little extra effort up front because of the badges, but more than the badges, because of this contest here. This is some great looking cars. If you're taking a look in the cafe, in the Plaza now, you'll see what those cars look like. Very interesting looking cars. And again, I think the stats are going to be right up in line with rares. So I'd love to see it. Get ready here. Of course, this is something where Upland's trying a few different things that we haven't seen in other cities. We see that this burn mechanic is part of the city of Miami. We see that, we are seeing Upland putting a contest in as part of the city release, the city mint. This is the first time we know about badges and having badges happening, again, with us knowing about them as opposed to them happening retroactively. And, this is the first time we see this pass sale, the ability to reserve a property that you don't know where the property is, but ability to reserve a property by owning a little NFT here, a little pass in the game of Upland. Looking forward to seeing how that ends up playing out, but we'll keep our eyes out on that. A couple other key things in this announcement. Upland, if we just look at the bold words here at the end, we have this whole couple paragraphs here of get ready. Here's some bold words here. They bolded pivotal moment, innovation and excitement, continually evolving virtual experience. Join us at the community corner. Share your thoughts, and pointing out that it's an unprecedented time. Again, what's going to be the big change here? Is there going to be a big change? Is this a big shift in how we view new city releases and launches in the game of Upland? I don't know, but I do hope that we've got more coming, because again, we do know about totems and totems becoming something that we're going to interact with. We do know that we're going to have life on the backside of totems and the interaction thereof. We know that we're going to have a lot of mini games hopefully after the 14th. Again, look at that date. 14th is a key date here for Miami. It's also a key date for the last day to enter for your if you have been developing a mini game. It's your last day to enter your mini game for the up to $1 million or the $1 million UPEX prize for going ahead and getting that brought into the game of Up. So definitely looking forward to what Miami here brings. Oh, again, a couple key notes here. that we haven't done for a while, but I'm really excited to see happen. This was brought up, or this was put through today in Discord. This is something that, like I said, we haven't had in previous cities, but keynote here. What makes this different? What makes this better? What makes this more something that I enjoy when it comes to a city release is this right here, and I want to share it so we can see it. This right here. Everyone, great news. Ahead of the Miami release, we've minted 3 key properties for you to help strategically position your block explorers. Again, setting your float strategically is something I really enjoy when it comes to a city release. Being able to head into, drift into, drag into an area where you are going to have the best opportunity to mint the properties that you speculate as hitting collections. I'm looking forward to this being an opportunity for me. I'm looking forward to it to be a form of gameplay, and I really hope that people get the properties they want because they have that opportunity, as opposed to being the second best, the second to get there. You set your drift, and hopefully you are drifting the way you want to, or take your time and set that drift to the best of your ability. Show up in Miami with plenty of sends and be ready for that eventuality that upwind's not necessarily going to drift you the direction you want to drift the first time. These locations are now available for you to use as your launch pads to get your explorer into the ideal spots in Miami. Again, this is something we've seen previously when we have these test neighborhoods. When we have these test neighborhoods, you can have properties there. People can use those as anchor points to help head into the direction they want to go. Upwind's giving us 3 anchor points in the city. 329 Southwest 6th Avenue, 5301 Northwest 7th Avenue, and 3130 Jackson Ave. These are opportunities for people to, again, head into the parts of the city where they want to mint most. Take a look at the city. Take a look at the 34 neighborhoods that are going to be available. Get together your speculation. I know Analytic Assassins has theirs out. For Miami, I know there is plenty of research material that's out there as well. I know Banana runs a guide. There's a bunch of things to take a look at between now and tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. PT. The more you do research between now and tomorrow, the better luck you'll have in minting something informed. But no guarantees, there never are. No one ever knows what's going to hit collection. A lot of people enjoy the speculation of it all. A lot of people enjoy the race of trying to mint high demand properties. So that is going to be something I know a lot of people will be doing tomorrow morning. And it will be something that it may even play into the idea of who gets what collections, because there are a couple that seem more likely than others. So good luck. Get ready for tomorrow, and we'll just review a couple things. I was hoping to have a special guest tonight, but that special guest is stuck in a class. It sounds like later than that special guest wanted to be, but we will touch on a couple things here, getting ready for Miami tomorrow. First and most important, obviously, is do your own research. If you want to use resources, use your resources, but ultimately nobody knows what's going to hit collection and what's not. So don't take anyone's word for it, but know that you're doing the best with the information you've got in front of you. We are going to look at a couple key things. Is if you want to be minting tomorrow at 9 a.m. PT, you got to be in Miami ahead of time. Getting into Miami right now is all flights. So you have the opportunity for the majority of the domestic United States to fly into Miami. I think boy, that has an airport now. You could be flying in internationally as well, because there will be international flights coming directly into Miami here. And a couple key other notes as we do get ready for tomorrow. Key things is, be prepared. We haven't gone over one of these mint guides for a little while, but be prepared. You do have to be authenticated. If you do have an authenticator, you do have to be authenticated before you get started. You're going to want to make sure that you don't have to sit there and authenticate for that first purchase, that you have already manually authenticated before that first property turns bright green. You have the opportunity to shoot over there and try to mint it. The other things to keep in mind is we don't know necessarily what the UPX per UP2 is going to be. Some neighborhoods are going to be pricier than others. There is going to be a total of 20% or approximately 20% of the properties that mint that are going to be FSA reserved. If a property is FSA reserved and you are above a pro status, you're not going to be able to mint that property. So it's going to be important that you do have your FSA markers turned on during the mint. it is an important way or an important part of not making a mistake, not trying to mint a property you can't mint, and wasting time because time can be of the essence when you're out minting. And then again, the key thing here is just be ready, just be there on time. 9 a.m. PT is when it happens. We know that with a lot of these cities, we don't have a direct full mint out. We may or may not. With 35,000 properties isn't a ton. People have been speculating on Miami for a long time. The setting or what upland sets the UPX per UP2 for the majority of the city, that is going to determine whether or not we have a mint out or what percentage of the city gets minted out, in my opinion. So just keep an eye out on that. But then the other part of that is, regardless of if we mint out or how much the city mints out, certain areas will mint out very quickly. So if you're interested in participating, definitely get there if you can. And if you can't, you have a second chance. The second chance is going to be in the form of those passes. Snapshot on the 14th with the sale again, the 14th through the 18th, with having properties reserved for you. So keep that in mind. Be ready, be prepared, and that's your second chance if you don't get any property at all in Miami. As we do move into the rest of the week, again, the key notes here is we're going to have a 1 week period from tomorrow into the following Wednesday the 13th, as the vanilla period. That is a speculation week. That's when people typically will be selling properties that they minted. They thought they got a good deal. They thought they minted in a property that might be a collection. Somebody else agrees with them and pays for that property significantly above floor in the city. And that is a part of the gameplay a lot of people enjoy. Minting that property, selling at a profit. A lot of people enjoy buying that property during spec week and crossing their fingers and hoping they hit collection, because maybe that might make that property even more valuable. So we'll see how that goes. It is definitely going to be part of the fun over the next week. But keep in mind that this is something that does tend to happen relatively quickly for the top demand properties. Be there on time and be prepared. If you're going to be minting an UPX, work on having your UPX ready for the minting theoretically before the announcement comes out, before you're announcing the new city. You can't always roll back that time. Not everybody has the time machine yet, so the best you can do is obviously manage your UPX, build the UPX you can. If you're going to try to build UPX between now and tomorrow morning, you're probably going to be fire selling. Keep that in mind. If you got some markers to call in, you got some old debts that you need to collect on, maybe that's your other way of getting your UPX piled up before we get into tomorrow. But for tomorrow, good luck. Enjoy yourself. And again, I hope this is a city that's not overpriced. I hope this is one that we can have a lot of people participate in and have a lot of fun with. And I'm looking forward to it. For tonight, thank you so much for joining in. Thanks for being here. I'm going to stop and take a look in the cafe, see if I've got any special comments I'm missing along the way. But of course, ooh, wow, Blue, in virtual class. Just about to get out. Sorry we missed you. Maybe you're going to be here shortly, but thank you so much for thinking of us. I know you're still in class. Kenny, hi. I missed that from earlier, but don't see that you're still around. But if you still are, good to see it. And then of course, seeing a couple things here. Yes, I did call Lily Cheese earlier, Boulder. I tried to pass it off, but 100% didn't happen. The pass sale did happen earlier today, Boulder. That is a done deal, but you can buy them on the secondary. So let's see what happens. Keep your eye out. Again, depending on how fast the city of Miami mints out, depending on how pricey the city of Miami is, we definitely may see the demand on these passes be something that grows. It may be something that doesn't really materialize. So we'll have to see how that goes. But for tonight, thank you so much, everyone, for making it in here. There you go. Being told by Shacklin she is in the Plaza, so I'm glad you're able to make it, Shacklin. I was something that we were worried about how well things are going to work in the Plaza versus in voice, but I'm glad it was able to work. Thank you, everyone, for joining in tonight. We're going to try this again tomorrow. We're going to see how the Plaza works. We're going to see how multi-streaming works in multiple locations. But for tonight, thank you so much for everyone for making it in. Thank you for being part of the show. If you have questions, please feel free to send me a DM in the Game of Upland, a DM in Discord. And of course, we always like to open things up after the show for people to have open conversation. If you're in the Plaza, that's a great place for you to do it. If you want to be here in Discord and you want to jump in and have conversation, mics are open. Floor is yours in both locations, and I'll probably be in the Plaza immediately if you want to jump in and be part of that conversation. And otherwise, thank you so much, and enjoy the night.